Hello friends, this is Debashish. Today I am going to cover another very interesting topic, which is telecom revolution in India today, yesterday and the future path. Let me tell you in a very simple way, people talk about democracy, people talk about socialism, but from my experience, which is more than a decade in telecom, I will tell you this is the industry which has become a rocking point in the world. It's a reference point in the world in terms of advantage, in terms of scale, in terms of business possibility and what not. Telephony is basically changed the complete scenario of India. So I will call it as telecommunication revolution. It is mobilism. Now let me tell you, today we have more than billion number of mobile subscribers. You don't know, but about 15-20 years back we had only BSNL landline and it used to be so difficult to get a telephone connection, but which is so essential. But then came telephony, then came mobility, and it started with 2G, which got enhanced to 2.5G, which is known as the Edge, EDGE, and then came 3G, and then came 4G, and now we are thinking of 5G. Now what are these G? G stands for generation. So the basic function of mobility is that I need to connect with somebody, I need to talk, people need to hear me, and this has got a huge business implication. Let me tell you also very honestly that India is one of the biggest market because of some key decisions which the Indian entrepreneurs have taken. For example, in India, long back they started only the calling party pays, CPP, whereas whenever I have traveled in a place like even Africa, which is not so advanced countries, but they are still till about 2 years back, both the calling party and the receiving party, both of them pay. So therefore it becomes very expensive, number one. Number two, within the network you pay per minute less. Once you go to the other network, for example if from Airtel I am calling to BSNL or some other brand, then I pay a different rate than what I pay from Airtel to Airtel. So all such simple things have taken a very important route in terms of spreading this mobile network. Another very important decision I must tell you the Indian entrepreneurs have taken, that in telephony what you see is the end point. But for this to happen, you need to have a huge technical back-end framework, which includes your towers, your back-end switches and many other things. Those things actually connect the caller to the receiver, and for this there are different kinds of companies. So Indian entrepreneur told those companies that will not pay you upfront, but let us share the profit and make it a perpetual business. So when the Indian telephony grows, we grow, and along with us you grow. So these are the kind of key innovations, or I can say business innovation decisions, which is responsible for making Indian telephony a grand success. And believe me that whenever I have traveled all across the world, especially in telephony, in mobility, everywhere Indian executives and technical people are widely respected because they have gone through these innovations and they are now holding their key post. Let me tell you also the kind of innovation we have gone through. So all these G's and all, they are actually basically denoting the not only the telephony, the talk part of it, but the internet service. Of course, now we have also voice over internet, but 4-5 years back they were not that developed. So basically the difference between 2.5 to 3 to 4 is the internet bandwidth and the speed by which the internet goes. And now they are a part and parcel of your life. Just think of some practical example. Today in a remote village, the farmer doesn't go to the end point of the pump set. He gives a command through an SMS and his pump set actually starts working. And this distance may be half an hour distance by walk. So if these innovations are not there, then you have to physically go near the pump set and switch on the pump. So effectively he is adding half an hour more pumping, that too in the morning time, to his crop and giving extra life. Now 4G. Now 4G is a very important thing because it is giving lot of speed to your internet and what you can do with your internet. My question is that, dear friends, let me tell you very frankly that there is nothing which you cannot do with your internet. Today we can switch on your lights before reaching your house, you can start your car through internet, and you can do variety of things. Another very important part where internet is playing a havoc and a very important social role is the telemedicine. So earlier people used to travel a lot of distance for a particular kind of serious tertiary disease. Until he or she reaches the hospital, he or she doesn't know that what has happened to him. Now what they are doing, basically they are capturing certain basic data. For example, in every village there will be a kind of X-ray facility or some basic minimum facility in terms of medicine. They can take a photo, they can transfer that photo through internet to the tertiary hospital which is located in a little bigger city or town, and before he or she reaches the hospital, they know actually beforehand what is the profile of this person, what is the condition, what is the disease level, and they can get ready, and before he reaches they can start actually planning for the treatment, and this is called telemedicine. Like that, it is helping in so many ways. For example, the drone technology, they are being used everywhere. Even in the border areas also, telephony is playing a very important role, and some calls are also even protected so that nobody can go through this, and telephony can do now the wonder. And let me tell you in a very simple way that there is lot of saving of time for anyone because of telephony. There are so many gadgets which is getting defunct, they are out of the business. For example, in your mobile phone, especially a basic smartphone, this has got a camera, this has got a watch, this has got a weather forecasting system, this has got a bank wallet, this has got a payment gateway, this has got a railway reservation app, this has got everything. Your whole world has actually come to your hand. Basically, without leaving your house, you can do so many things. And let me give you a practical example that generally the civic government job is a headache for anyone. The biggest advantage of this new age telephony is that so many facilities are now available through app by the government itself. So the biggest advantage is that you are saving time, you don't have to go to a big city to register your complaint. Number 2, you can pay so many different kind of taxes. Number 3, you have removed all the intermediaries, and there is no question of, if I may say so, of making somebody else happy to do your business, and the list goes on and on. Basically, your life has become more productive. So we cannot live today without a smartphone, and there is a huge implication. Today the simple person like a dhobi doesn't come and pick your clothes up from your home if you have no clothes. So what he does, he calls you, and that too he doesn't spend any money because this is a missed call. So you call him and tell him that okay, you don't come today because we have no clothes today, or else I say that okay, you come today, we have clothes. So this is a huge saving of time, or in the other language there is an opportunity cost saved for him. He can utilize this service for something else. Similarly, today mobility is hugely affected. For example, you have all these services like Ola, Uber, you can book a taxi, cab, you don't have to go anywhere, and you can track them. Safety security is also concerned, so they are also taking care of that. You can touch if you are in distress, one small switch and alarm goes everywhere, they know that you are in distress. So if I tell you, you know that the list is endless. In conclusion, let me tell you that there is a very serious UN study, and the UN study says that typically in a kind of developing country scenario, with every 10% penetration of additional mobility, there is a direct impact of 1% of GDP, which means for every 10% of mobility penetration, you have an additional 1% GDP. Now 1% GDP is huge, huge, huge. Today, almost all the countries, like 30 states, are all seamlessly connected with each other with the help of this mobility, and this has got a huge impact. And hopefully, with this kind of innovation and growth, India will reach a very different state maybe after 10 years. Already we have reached, but after 10 years. And more importantly, you as an innovator can also join telecom, because there is a huge opportunity for innovation and you can contribute to this growth and for this national pride. Thank you.